I know y'all gonna ask. I don't know. We watching this together. I already know y'all gonna ask. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go first. Let's see if there is a man. Come on, girl.
Let me start by asking you, it seems like it's kind of been one thing after another the last few months. It's been a tough time for you. When do you think kind of the problem started?
I would say it started around my 25th week of pregnancy. That's when I started having gallbladder problems. I found out probably like less than a week later that I had level 3 precancer, and they couldn't do anything about it until after I had my son. And then about a week and a half after I had my son, I had to go into emergency surgery to get my gallbladder removed because my pancreas almost exploded and my liver was failing.
Now listen. I'm so sorry to hear about her health issues. All right. It ain't no joke. If you sick, that's a big deal, right? Listen. This is while she was pregnant. So where's the person that she was pregnant by to help out? Is that not a valid question to ask? Like, she ain't even have the baby yet. So did he smash and dash? Like, what happened? Where he at? What's he doing? What is going on? It sucks about her health. It does. I have empathy and sympathy for her. But people don't take those things into consideration, in my opinion, as well, when it comes to what could possibly go wrong health-wise. Listen, if you ain't got your health, you ain't got nothing, okay? But everybody want to be so selfish talking about, I could do it all by myself. But can you, God forbid, if something should happen? Like, come on now. Does that really make sense? And then you put in your kids in jeopardy, all because you want to be independent?
This is a woman who's done pretty much everything she can do, at least from her perspective, as she tells it. She's reached out to aid, she's reached out to church groups, she's tried to get a job, and she's tried to hold down these jobs. But because of some of the medical conditions and medical problems she's dealing with, she's not really able to work. She told me that she has to skip meals. That was something that really surprised me. I didn't realize how dire her situation had gotten. It's hard to hear. What went through your head when you saw that 3-day notice on your door?
I cried. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just went in there, I talked to you guys said it was okay, and now I'm getting a 3-day notice. I had no idea what I was going to do. I genuinely thought in that moment that I was going to lose everything, that my son was going to lose everything, that we were going to be homeless.
Listen. I know y'all sick of me. I know. I'm tired. Like I just said a few minutes ago, everybody, you get married for security, wealth building, I should say, and kids. Those are the main reasons. Love is great. Can't be the only reason. Because it changes. So I think she has a kid and then was having a kid. I can't really tell if that baby in her arms is the newest baby or the first kid. I don't know. But the reporter lady said she's done everything that she can, and at least she added on it from her perspective. She said something along those lines. It's like, all right, child, just at least you said it. Because these news programs is never going to say, where's the father? Because they'll say something like, are you getting child support? I think it's better. Why would you want women, female, ladies, girls? Why would you want a part of someone's check when you technically can have it all if you're freaking married to the person? Why do you want to struggle on your own? Let's take the health matters out of it for this woman right now. Again, I have empathy for her situation. Cancer sucks. F cancer. I believe in that all the way around. Okay. She still got to take care of these kids. Where is the help? Is she going to give these kids up to the daggone father? Where is he at? What kind of person is he? Are we looking at these things in advance? Can we predict all this, from the gate? No, not necessarily all the time, but enough of the time you can. Enough of the time you can, not all of the time. So all this out here, just having kids all willy-nilly by mistake, he was crazy. Shout out to Kendra G, that girl, headlight girl, or whatever. You're still choosing to do this. You're choosing to do this. And then everyone else is supposed to have empathy and sympathy, feel sorry for you, give you everything that you want so that you can have what you needed because you got kids. Because you're a single mom with kids. I thought y'all was doing the damn thing. Somebody lying. Somebody somewhere be lying.
Do you think a 3-day notice is fair?
It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Is it enough time to figure out what you got to do?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went in there and I've explained my condition. I've explained everything I've gone through. I've updated them every step of the way. I'm like, hey, I just got this new job. If I can't pay it this week, I'll pay it next week. I didn't have to do that, but I did.
I know she didn't say that she didn't have to tell the landlord that she got a job and I must have misheard that. Hold on. Sorry, y'all.
Do you think a 3-day notice is fair?
It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Is it enough time to figure out what you got to do?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went in there and I've explained my condition. I've explained everything I've gone through. I've updated them every step of the way. I'm like, hey, I just got this new job. If I can't pay it this week, I'll pay it next week. I didn't have to do that.
Y'all, it's Sunday. I just went to church from the bed. And I'm trying. Lord, forgive me. I'm trying. I be trying to have empathy and sympathy. I be listening to the pastor, y'all. You know, I be giving you the word, right? But when I hear someone say she didn't have to tell the person who she has a financial relationship with, okay? Because it's not a personal relationship. This is you agreed to pay them and they agreed to rent to you. Say, I didn't have to tell them about my situation. You know what? You didn't. You did not. Because women want to play off of other people's emotions. And it's like your situation is your own. And it ain't got nothing to do with me. So what she's really saying is that I told you my story, which is not a great story. Again, I have empathy for her health. But it is not anyone else's responsibility to take care of you, feel sorry for you, give you a break, give you extra time because you have your own situation going on. Why? And this reporter, I'm not going to blame her because I know she just want to get the story. But why is it that she don't push back and be like, telling them everything don't mean that they owe you anything, right? The rule is the rule. Let me rephrase. The law is the law. And if they were legally able to give a 3-day notice, which obviously they did, right? It must be legal. Then as long as they're following the law, which people would like to, let me rephrase, women would like to use the law when it's advantage to them, but when it's used against them, then they don't want to hear it. They don't want to acknowledge it. It don't make sense. It ain't right, right? Now, I can't believe they did it. I didn't have to tell you all my issues. You're right. You're right. You should have kept that to yourself because it wasn't going to make any difference anyway. She thought that going in there and telling them that story, and I'm not saying it's a sob story, but to them it's a sob story. Business is business. If she went to a store and bought something expecting it to be in, let's say it's furniture, because furniture takes forever to get, they're supposed to be there on November the 30th. Here come December the 15th. You trying to tell me that the store can say, girl, I was sick. I didn't feel good. My baby didn't have, teeth that day. And I had to do this, that, and the third. Okay. But I just recently got some new teeth and I should be able to get it to you in 3 months. You think she going to sit there and be like, okay, not a problem. Take your time. Thank you for explaining it to me. Like, can never put themselves in the other person's shoe. Position where look at where they're coming from. It's only about me, and me. Selfish, delusional.
But I did. And she was like, okay, that's fine. Just try to pay it by the end of this week. And then not even 24 hours later, you give me a 3-day notice.
So many other people are in situations like Taya's. And so we're trying to understand, how big this problem is, how bad it's gotten, and what solutions are for people like Taya, who are dealing with this right now. Next, we're speaking to Frank, and
let me just say, she said, how can we help people in these situations? My question is, how are they going to help themselves? When are women going to stop putting themselves in these situations, right? Excuse me. I know they're going to say, he was crazy. It was him. 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 It's always Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. It's never, ever, ever your fault, ma'am. Ever. Never. Never. You telling me that last lady, none of that, the health reasons is not her. She ain't mentioned a man. She ain't mentioned a baby daddy. She ain't mentioned a father. She was pregnant when this started. Who is, listen, it's me. I'm old. Shout out to me. I'm old. We took this pleasure together. We gonna raise this kid together. What? Nah, son. That's not what we gonna do. We ain't talking about great. We ain't talking about essay. We talking about we both laid down there and had a good time. Here's the result of that good time. Let's have more of a good time while we raise this little monster. Okay? Nope. Y'all don't want to look at it like that, but you think I'm crazy? Nah, son. I'm not raising no kid by myself. I'm not doing it. I mean, obviously, it's not my lot anymore. But I don't know how y'all can sit up here and think that that's cute. It's dumb. I'm sorry. I got to be honest. It's dumb. It's dumb. And you ain't hurt nobody. And you're proving the point that it doesn't work more so than not over and over again by not only these stories, but by the daggone statistics. But, it's just, it's not true. Okay, just ignore it. Twilight Zone.
The reason why he's such a good person to speak to is because he's the kind of lead person on this group that brings together a bunch of regional partners that work with homelessness, housing, evictions, and foreclosures. So he's got a lot of insight, and I'm looking forward to learning where he sees this issue going and what he thinks some of the solutions can be moving forward. This is what I got from Orange County. It looks like, from what I'm reading and kind of the month to month, that 2022 is going to outpace all the way back to
high far,
all the way back to 2009, potentially.
Yep, very likely.
So what do you think is behind this increase that we're seeing right now?
So a couple things have happened. Our eviction moratorium that we had in various forms for about 18 months through the pandemic expired, so we no longer have that legal protection for tenants. We've seen dramatic increases in rent, right? Lots of reports of rent up 15%, 20%, as high as 30% or more. In a lot of cases, almost nobody's paycheck went up that much, right? So people are increasingly unable to afford these increases in rent. We're not seeing increases in housing supply. So if your rent went up $400 a month, there's nowhere out there for you to rent that's less expensive than what you're being offered now. And so this is all happening at the same time as these emergency rental assistance programs spending all the way through their money.
And so all of that is combining to create this situation where we're seeing so many more evictions filed.
So the 3-day notice is your landlord saying you're behind in rent, you need to catch up. You've got 3 days. After that 3-day notice happens, then they can file with the court, and you'll get 5 days to respond to that legal complaint. And in Florida, in order to get a legal hearing, to get a court hearing, you'll have to put on deposit with the court the full amount of the back rent that's in dispute.
So in other words, Florida ain't playing no games. So if you getting a 3-day notice, you already know that you're behind. None of this should be true. So he's basically explaining how it works, right? So if you are a renter, if you're renting, you signed a lease, you signed an agreement, shouldn't you know this? Shouldn't you know these things if you're reading through all that information? Now, listen, back to the other girl. I understand she got some health issues, right? But don't be surprised that you got a 3-day notice if the rent is not being paid. Like, come on, stop. Shout out to Farron Williams, sweetie. I don't know if she's still in the chat. Thank you so much. She did send me $10 cash app. I appreciate you. She said, hey, Mimi. She's so sweet. Thank you guys for being here. Please like the video if you have not. Subscribe if you are new. I appreciate you. but